We on and poppin'.
What's good? Y'all missed us?
Yeah,
We missed y'all.
Yep, we missed y'all too.
Y'all sound drunk.
Yeah, we missed y'all. We gotta get the podcast voice back together. You know what I'm talking about? They got us quarantined, shut in. Right. You know what I'm talking about? We gotta get back in the run of things.
Man, this quarantine has been, oh my gosh.
Did you hit record? Okay. So we have to just make sure y'all, man, bump all that. What y'all doing out there? Welcome back to another show. What y'all already know what y'all favorite podcast is SWP.
SWP.
I am your girl, Tonka.
And I am your host, Kiana.
And I am Tasha.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
The voice behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
All right, well, y'all already know we got some chat about today. We did a topic on fatherhood, more towards the beginning of the podcast when we started it. And we did it with Eddie, so we thought it was fair.
Only fitting.
I'm just saying, to get a woman's side. So we're doing motherhood today. So, my bad.
We all over the place because, we just coming back on the podcast, right. So just give us a minute to get everything together, get it together.
Yeah, my bad, because I went, we're going to leave that there.
Motherhood is Motherhood is the title. Episode, I think, is number 9 in our season 2. And we're going to jump into this discussion.
Absolutely.
Why did we choose this topic? I guess you just said because we already
did the other one.
The other one with Eddie. So we wanted to come from a woman's point of view as far as what motherhood means and, different things that we can discuss with regards to motherhood.
Yes.
Exactly. The mother's, I guess how vital a mother's position is when it comes to parenting and raising a child. Well, because most of the time we do start off with a definition, so that way you guys can understand exactly what the term means. Right. I didn't think I was going to find a definition for actually motherhood, but I did. I thought I was going to have to look for something like parenting or something like that. But it says the state or experience of having or raising a child.
Right.
Example, adopting and raising a child, or giving birth
Anybody
and
that's
raising a child.
A lot of other titles fall underneath that umbrella. Parental, right? Parental.
Yeah.
Parenting. Parenting, all of the stuff.
Yeah. Mothering.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. How old were you when you had your first child? And we'll go down the line. And I wanted to also ask, how did, at that age, how did it affect you?
Well, I got pregnant when I was 17, and I gave birth to him at 18.
Okay.
I think that's a little mature corporate there. I'm trying to get comfortable. But yeah, you got it.
Okay.
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, you said, how did I what?
How did it affect you? Becoming a mother, like, how did it affect you at that age?
I mean, well, clearly I'm still a kid. And we were active kids. It wasn't like we were some kids who only went to school and came home, did your homework, chores, and might have went outside for a brief moment. But no, we were, well, for me, I had a lot more freedom as a kid than, I'll say Kiana. I won't say everybody who I was around, but definitely more than what Kiana did. And no wasn't really in my mom's vocabulary. So we had a lot to live with, but I didn't do as much as I thought I would be doing it, probably because I don't know, maybe I just didn't have a desire to do it. But with that being said, it definitely slowed me down. Like I couldn't be on the go like I wanted to. The dad was gone. He had went to prison. So I kind of went through the whole pregnancy by myself and birthing. I didn't go through the birthing by myself. I had my mother and my my siblings there, but for the most part, yeah, it was pretty tough. Yeah. I mean, we can get more into depth, but yeah, it was a trying process for me.
And for me, I was 24, and I had my first child at 24. I got pregnant at 24, and I had it at 24. And I guess it affected me because I really wasn't, even though I was 24, I still wasn't done, you know, exploring and doing what I wanted to do without having any kids. I wasn't finished, you know, I was still incomplete in that area. So it kind of affected me where I was happy and sad. I was both. I was happy, you know, that I was getting ready to, you know, of course, have a child, but I was sad at the fact that, you know, it's going to cut off a lot of things. You know, I got to stop doing a lot of things and now be responsible, right, and be responsible for another individual. Absolutely. And I wasn't mentally, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to be responsible for another individual because I was still trying to, you know, be responsible for self, you know. So yeah, that's how it affected me.
Really?
The Tosh.
Not me. I was married.
Ooh.
Because I got married when we were 18.
Oh, and I was single too.
I too. Was single.
We were married. I got married when I was 18.
Ooh.
I married my high school sweetheart.
That's what's up. Everybody don't do that, but that's what's up.
And I think I was 21. We were looking forward to starting a family.
Oh, okay.
That
was it planned? Like, did you plan that? Did you go in planning it at that age, or
no? Well, you think when you get married you'll have a baby, but it was not easy for me. I had a couple of miscarriages.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But God blessed us with Surround Mom. My first four. It was a blessing. We were looking forward to it. It was a wonderful thing. I couldn't wait to be a mom.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't wait to teach her.
You seem like that too.
I couldn't wait to teach her and show her and explore and learn.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. You seem like that type of person that be ready.
I love that.
So before we get into depth, I wanted to...
We forgot to say hello to the guys.
Oh, hey y'all.
Hey y'all, all viewers.
Right. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all
Thanks
already
for
know we
tuning
want
in.
y'all to tap on y'all keyboard and comment so we can keep the
Please.
conversation going.
Yes.
We want to know your experience, also your thoughts on this conversation, because y'all just know that's what we do. It's more than 3 women in the world, so
yeah.
And we know it's some dudes out there who are very opinionated, and we want that too.
And we want all of that, all of that. Be a part.
All right, so I was going to talk about what are some key factors that goes into being a mother, i.e.,
discipline, patience,
nurturing.
It's a lot of key factors.
It's a lot of key factors.
Definitely some patience, some structures, willing to learn, let them learn.
Right.
You know, because they may have some books out here on parenting, but come on, man, we all know better. You know what I'm saying? It can probably try to prepare, and keyword try to prepare you mentally, and I guess try to structure you a little bit when it comes to certain things that you're most likely going to expect when you're parenting. I mean, but experience is by far the best.
It's different, right. And I was blessed also with the children, so my kids were sick. Like a lot of kids, it was hard. When the baby gets sick, if he has colic or some gas or something.
So your kids were never sick.
So all your kids was healthy and A1.
Samara had a little gas because we were nursing, because I mostly nursed all my kids.
Yeah.
So
mostly
they were good.
Nursed all your kids. Which one of them got skin?
Right. I got cut off because he was too greedy. But for the most part, I did nurse them and the kids were healthy. But when you're parenting, and especially a single parent, and not knowing what to expect, something is wrong with your baby, you're trying to figure it out, it could be very frustrating. Those could be lows. You get women who can't take that, can't handle that.
Yeah.
You know, they depressed. They irritable, and the baby irritable. It could be, all those things can happen.
Yeah.
That's just another side of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. And you mentioned key factors.
Right.
Yeah.
No key factors. I think we pretty much mentioned all the key factors, but I did have, a question that I did want to throw out there, because all those, of course, key factors are important as far as with motherhood. But I wanted to know, what are some of the things you struggle with as being a mother?
Struggle? Ooh.
Yeah.
Coddling. Coddling and coddling is because I think no matter how you may try to prevent desiring or expecting your kids to go down a certain road or be a certain child,
you find yourself trying to be the narrative of their path, like trying to show them which way you would want them to go versus the way in which.
I think that I definitely had I had an expectation or at least a desire that or some type of I don't know, dream or whatever that as far as what I expected from my kids. So, you know, you try to discipline yourself and structure yourself so that your kid can get there, because we believe that we can do certain things to lead them in a certain direction and they just go that direction.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I got a monkey wrench in my path of parenting. And when I realized that, you know, they're not going to go that way just because you want them to go that way, or even if you push them that way or change your life for them to go that way. I struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fear that you have. You want your kids to succeed. You don't want your kids to go and be placed in harm's way. So you kind of make decisions based upon that. Like, no, I'm not going to let you drive the car. No, I'm not going to let you go get this. No, I'm not going to let you go there. No, you can't do this. No, you can only do this. So you want to set these perimeters. You know what I'm saying? So you coddle them, not knowing that you, for your own self, know that experience is the best teacher. You mainly learn through your experience.
Of course.
But, you know, we don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, we don't want to hold ourselves accountable. No, I'm not going to give you them keys and let you drive because your license is suspended. So I won't do it, but yet somebody else may be more trusting of my kid because they see a different side of my kid. So I would say coddling.
Okay. That's very good. And just to piggyback off of that, I did have, as far as for me, it was to let go.
Yeah.
You know, what's a struggle for me as a mother is to let go. And it's pretty much kind of the same with coddling. I don't want to let go to allow my kids to explore, to experience, to figure it out somewhat on their own without me, you know, being there trying to guide them and lead them. So it's a struggle for me. It's very difficult for me to let go. Like I be like, I'm on them like all the time. Like I don't want you going over there. I don't want you going there. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do, you know, and I have to realize that how, you know, me being, when I was young, how, you know, I was kind of put in that same category where I wasn't able to go as much and as freely and how it felt for me. So I had to remind myself of that, and I have to now, you know, adjust accordingly. You know, I do still think it's important, you know, of course, if you think danger is up the road, to tell your child, I don't think you should go there because I done seen this, and that. But at the same time, you have to kind of let them learn their way, you know?
I mean, we can't prevent it anyway, because it's inevitable. They gotta learn. They're gonna do some things that we even don't want them to do. But before we get into that, because I think we could definitely tap on that, all three of us, but I wanted Tasha to make sure that she answers what is your greatest fear. Or what was the question?
The struggle. What's the struggle?
The struggle.
And I would say the struggle for me, again, to even now with my kids being grown, is letting go.
Yeah.
It's a letting go.
Yeah.
And I've done that. I've tried to live a certain way, so I would think that they would do the same thing that I did. Some of them did, some of them didn't. So I let the other one try to go a bit experimental because I had experimented it too. But the struggle would be for letting go. Like even right now, when my son DeMarcus is in the Navy.
Yeah.
Go Navy.
Right.
When it came out that the ship was had sailors on there that had the virus, I
panic.
Yeah.
You know how your baby's sick and you can get to him. I can't get
to my baby
Guam, where he is.
Yeah.
You know, you have to let go.
Yeah.
You have to trust that they gonna take care of my baby because they say they would.
Yeah.
Even with my son Darius, with his baby, I call them all the time. Hi, Aubrey.
Yes, you have to let my son.
I have to. Yeah. But my hands is tied. It's still letting go. That's a struggle for me to let go. Samara's the beautiful, sweet.
I think that's just as mothers, you know, it's nature. It's in your nature to like want to hold on. You want to be
I
protected.
have to let go. I just think that we have to, because we're mothering, we have many hats that we wear.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and we use the term letting go, but we don't necessarily have to let go. We just got to switch the hat. You put on a different hat. You know what I'm saying? Because now when your kids are grown, I think it's very important to respect your kids' adulthood.
That's right.
Because we're so used to being in that parent.
Exactly. So Samara has her own place. I knock on the door. I have a key, but I don't use it. I have to knock on the door, and when I go and see my son,
it's out of respect.
It's out of respect because this is they're adulting.
Yeah.
They're adulting.
You ain't got it yet.
No, I haven't got it. My kids are 16 and 12, so I haven't reached that point yet, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 2 kids, 2 girls, and Tanya.
I have 1 girl and 2 sons.
Just for y'all who don't really know.
Yeah. And I have 4, 2 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
27, 25, 21, and 12.
And 12.
Yeah.
12.
I got my daughter's 23, my oldest son is 22, and my youngest son is currently 19, and he'll be 20 one more month. So it's definitely a different task as far as to dealing with them when it comes to adulthood. Oh gosh,
do you think? Let me just ask this: do you think your parenting is completely unorthodox, or is it? And I ask that because how we have conversations on the back end, or is it traditional?
A combination of both, but more unorthodox for me than it would be for traditional. And but I started off traditional.
Right.
I started off traditional, and when I say that, it's because you think that your kids is going to finish high school the regular way. They're going to go through school. Now, of course, you expect some bumps in the road, but I expect no major bumps. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get through school. You want your kids to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And you want to have good careers and take off and soar, in the world. And goddamn it, they go that way. But me and mine. We took a whole different direction.
And I'm referring to the traditional as far as how I think we had a conversation on a previous podcast episode where you were saying that there was an incident that took place where I believe one of your kids was speaking to you in a certain way. So I was referring to that in itself, because normally in the traditional way, you was yes ma'am, no ma'am, don't raise your voice at me, don't talk to me this way.
Pretty much they go.
Yeah. And
you're
more lenient towards that.
I don't know if it's more
do you think
lenient,
it's traditional?
I think mine was traditional.
Traditional upbringing for your kids.
What you think?
I think it started off traditional, and I'm still traditional, but it's some things that especially when it comes to communicating, because again I stop, and what I do is I always think back to when I was a child and the things that I wasn't allowed to do, or the things that I wish I could have done. I wish I could have had an open forum with being able to talk to my mom. You know what I'm saying? Without, when I ask why, it's because I said so. I pretty much, you know what I'm saying? No, tell me why. And let why be okay, with me asking you why. It's not that I'm, being disrespectful. I just want to know, I want to know details. So.
Yeah, I got a comment.
Okay.
Nay Tyler.
Hey.
I'm still at work, mommy. I called this one girl ma'am, and she got mad because it made her feel old. But she laughed because sorry, it's my bad. I just have manners.
Well,
and some people do take offense to the ma'am thing, and I raised, that's my daughter, y'all, by the way, and I raised her like that. That goes back to that traditional thing. I was brought up, traditionally, and my grandmother always, you better yes ma'am and no ma'am coming up in here. So that's what I taught my children. So she's saying that she said that to somebody and they got upset with her. But I'm not gonna tell her to not say it. If they upset with it and they don't want to be said yes ma'am and no ma'am to, then refrain from doing it to that individual.
Absolutely.
But
respect their wishes.
Yeah, respect their wishes.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
And my kids don't have to use no yes ma'am and no ma'am. I would appreciate if you use a yes or no, but you ain't got to put the ma'am on there.
Right.
But they have a tendency to do it, most likely the older people. When I say older people, like grandmothers, because they may not be like yes ma'am to my sister. They'll be a yes, yeah auntie, or you know, saying something to that extent. But I'm not big on that. But you know, I have a different you know, when it comes to you know, when it comes to respect, some things has changed for me, and that was due to that experience that you were saying, because you do start off as, well, for me, like I said, I started off as traditional, but I'll remind you guys of this situation. It was a situation I had with my son, and he had did something that, you know, I felt like he should apologize for, and I never had an issue with my kids wouldn't apologize, but it had been maybe like a day or two. It had been some time that had passed, and he hadn't apologized. And I wanted to know why he didn't apologize. So I went in and I approached him, and he said that he didn't feel like he needed to apologize. It was a conversation that we had where I felt like he was being disrespectful. So that I'll leave, because I forgot to put that in there. So when I went to him and I feel like you need to apologize, and I feel like he was being disrespectful. He was like, well, Ma, I don't feel like I was being disrespectful. What do you mean you don't feel like you was being disrespectful? And something just clicked. You know, because I never had a problem with being corrected, no matter whom the correction comes from. It could be a kid, it could be, you know, someone my age or older. I accept correction from wherever it comes. But I decided to listen to him, and he explained it to me why he felt like it wasn't disrespectful. And all I can do is say, how can you make someone say that they were disrespectful if they didn't feel like it was disrespectful, and then he told you why he felt like it wasn't disrespectful? So once he explained his side, I was like, well, I guess it ain't disrespect if you seen it from that perspective. Now, if you had that perspective and you still did something contrary to what you would consider respect, then at that point he wouldn't have been disrespectful. But he wasn't, in his mind, or this definition that he had for respect. So I don't feel like you can tell someone that they're not being respectful if they don't feel like it's disrespect. So, and it wasn't so far out of bounds without going into details about what the conversation was. So, you know, I accepted that.
I think I mean, the underlying issue for me is, you know, it's not so much of what you say, it's how you say it. You know, in a conversation, I listen to people conversation, and I can say the same thing to you, and you be receptive to it, but I have more of a mellow tone with talking to you about it, and then go over here and fuss, and this person, because they're gonna feel like they're under attack. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more or less, even with the kids, you know, when you talking to them, if you're talking to them, you know, where it's not so aggressive and like you're attacking them, but you're talking to them in a way in which they will be able to understand what it is that you want, whatever it is the conversation may be that you want them to understand, then I think it's more of a reception for them to be able to receive what it is that you're saying, because otherwise it's going to feel like you're attacking them and they shut down. That's just my opinion, because I know I did. Like, and
I think you just have to deal with everybody with how they want to be dealt with.
I bet. I mean, I bet it's different for that, because, again, going back to how I was brought up, a lot of yelling, a lot of yelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, unnecessarily, like,
it's unnecessary to you.
Yeah, it was definitely unnecessary, because I can't really comprehend when you're doing all that yelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really grasp what it is that you're trying. I know you're upset, but at the same time, I think that the message will come across much better if you allow yourself to calm down. That's what I have to do. That's one of the things that I have learned to do as far as being unorthodox, is allow myself to calm down and then revisit, you know what I'm saying, the situation.
But everybody's not going to bring the calm to you. So you also have to learn how to communicate with a person who ain't going to quiet down. Like, at some point, I mean, because, you know, and I want to give Tasha a chance to talk. Because at some point you have to learn how to deal with people. You're going to deal with different type of personalities in this world. They're not going to all be you. And you know, my sister has helped me in this process, to be honest with you, because you know, you busy living you. You busy being you. So when you come into contact with other people, I used to say to my sister all the time, like, I don't understand why they didn't do this.
They
Like,
not you, Tom.
why would they not? Why would they? Okay, even if I get that, I know they said this and I know they did this, but how do not something just click in them to be like, it used to be a conversation back and forth. She was like, Tanya, everybody is not like you.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's not going to function like you. And even though you may know that,
Right.
you don't really grasp it because you always talking about what somebody else did and you don't understand why they did this, you don't understand why they moved this way. So we say a lot with our mouth, but we don't realize that it's like we're contradicting ourselves when we have conversations about other people business. So that's what I'm saying. You have to learn how to deal with the person who you're currently dealing with and not as a whole. Everybody's not going to function the same way, is all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to give you a chance to
what was the question?
Tighten up.
What was the question?
Tighten up.
What was the question?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know what the question.
I'm just telling you to tighten it.
Generally talking. I can hear you.
Yeah, we were
like
generally
this.
talking. I was just talking about
I was.
I was talking about an experience where we where it became a little bit unorthodox, from traditional to unorthodox. What Tashad told me it was about, I gave his name and everything, but he done, but he felt like he wasn't being disrespectful, and I felt like he was.
And that's when I was saying that I mostly be traditional. I raised my children and say, yes ma'am, no sir. Not the tall bag.
Yeah.
What we say is fine.
Yeah.
What we say go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you never had an open forum. You never adjusted in no
Well,
way
we
where
tried to, we
make some
did that
adjustments
later,
along
like
the way.
I guess, yeah. Because as they get older, and like I said, my kids are older, so yeah, you have to change. You have to change from traditional, because things are changing. They thinking now for them themselves,
Yeah.
so I could see Tashad challenging you. Well, not not challenge you, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, well, standing up to discuss his point of view. You raised him to
have a voice.
And why should he not use it with you? Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not.
So did traditional work for you?
Traditional work for me. That's what we're talking about. Each one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm going to ask you guys a question, but yes, I did tell my kids I'm very big on them. I probably didn't use the term having a voice, but I'm definitely very big on God. So whatever it is that He tells you and leads you to do, or what you believe in your heart that the Lord has told you, I don't care who it is, be it your mama, your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, God comes first. For me, and what's in me is all you can give. So that's what I've given to my kids, is what's in me. And they either pick it up or they go their own way. So they picked it up. So you have to go with what the Lord is leading you to do. So that allowed them to have a voice. Because when you're always in the parenting mode, no, it's like you just said, no, it's no, because I said so. I don't have to explain this. I said you can't go to. All of that is what we do. But how can a kid ever voice their opinion unless you give them an opportunity to speak, without it being disrespectful?
So it's always changing. Parenting skills, your struggles will always change.
I couldn't wait to say that.
Because
I said so.
I couldn't wait. Mother, because I said so.
Bottom line.
I have a question for you, ladies. So what is one of the what are the benefits of being a mother? Like, what does a mother bring to the table in this thing we call parenthood? Like, what can you as a woman, as a mother, give to your child that you think comes from women and not a man?
A roof over their head and food on the table.
I said not from a man.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, or you just explain your terms, because I don't know, because I do think a man give it in their own way, but give that mother as, you know what I'm saying, the mother aspect.
I think that we're more of a, as a woman, I'm more of a nurturer. I bring that nurturing to my kids. I don't know what else do I bring to them? I'm sure there's a lot of things, but I can't really think. You can't think? I gotta be quick on feet.
I do. You finish?
No, you go ahead. I keep thinking. I'll come back.
So come back to me. Go Okay.
Of course, nurturing, patience.
That a man don't bring?
Oh, I say you can explain it. Too,
I'm explaining it from
between
me
them,
because their dad was there, and I'll tell you their dad didn't have as much patience. So patience.
They'll explain it differently.
Right, and that it's so many things to love them and to show them, to teach them the skills, all the things that a woman can do. That's what I did.
Yeah.
The unconditional love, that love that's, you know, agape, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, like your child does, you gonna always be in their corner no matter what. It doesn't,
Yeah.
just that, yeah, there's no, well, for me anyways, as a mother, I don't have a turn off for my kids.
Yeah, it's like it's no option. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes. Well, I guess maybe because of what we've seen around us. We felt like men had more of an option when the parent or when not the parent.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I mean when I say that.
Right.
But I think we wear so many hats. Like, just think about a rough day in the house.
Oh, Jesus.
Think about a rough day in your house where, you know, the woman is always the person who got to diffuse it. They're always the one who got to look at it from every angle.
He didn't mean to
Exactly. No, that's not what your daddy meant. Right.
To tear up the washing machine.
Exactly.
I know he put too many clothes in there, but it's spinning. But baby, we could just fix this. It's okay.
Correct.
You put too many clothes in the washing machine. Don't do that no more.
Trying to fix
I know he yelled at you. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
it's one where we wear so many hats.
Yes.
And then while not only we doing all of that,
Yes.
while looking at the full perspective, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that you take this hat, I'll put this one on, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you calm down while you got this one over here. Blow off some steam, because everybody function differently. This one got to blow off some steam. This one is easy to forgive, and they can go back into running things. You got your husband right here, grandstander, ruling jump with an iron fist. You know what I'm saying? And then you got your mom over here. You know, you just got so much going on in the house, but in addition to that, you do it with love.
With love and patience.
It's some correction in
And
here.
compassion.
Well, they're not, because you know, when you're in the heat of the moment, you know what I'm saying, currently arguing, you're tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tunnel vision onto whatever it is that everybody arguing about.
Right.
But you know, you got that mama who always in the day, like,
Yeah.
look at this kid.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Hold on 1 minute.
Now, they don't see nothing.
Right. Hold on while I'm praying.
Right. He ain't saying nothing, but you keep talking about you keep your mouth closed. Then I say don't open it. I'm like, well, he open his mouth. You know, but you analyzing everything. So when you finally go in there,
Peacekeeper.
yeah, like you can go in there and be like this, that. You can call everything off, everybody quiet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody now realize that it wasn't in that state.
Amen.
You know, just saying, we blew that whole everything.
Yeah. And then go in the kitchen.
Motherhood. The glue that holds everything.
Right. And then after all of that, y'all don't even know we be in the room crying, praying, whatever, because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's
very
overwhelming.
Exactly. So, have you guys ever been in a position where you are in disagreement? You are in disagreement with, I'll say the father or your husband, or you're in disagreement with the father of the kid. How do you handle that? I'll put it that way.
With what? Like anything? Like disciplinary actions? Like,
I'll tell you one. Ellie and I had talked about when we were going to let Samara get her, not her ears pierced. We were going to let her start dating. We're going to let her start dating.
Yeah.
You know, seeing boys, taking company, courting.
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Right. He said, at this age.
Yeah.
And when she got to that age, he said no.
Yeah.
But we had already told her when you get to this age,
It's okay.
It's okay.
Oh, he reneged.
He
don't renege.
So he was like, no, I think we should wait. And I'm like, well, she's doing real good. She's not a problem child.
Right.
Doing good in school, and band, extracurricular activities, room cleaning, house cleaning, doing everything. Why would they do this for?
What was the age? What was the age I agreed upon?
16.
Okay. 16. I see that too. I was curious as to know what age it was, because that was the age that I
What he pushed it to.
Yeah, 18. What age?
18.
Really?
Yeah.
She don't need permission no
She
more.
don't need
Right.
permission no more.
Right.
That's
So
right. And you know, so she went to they went to a private school, and they had a dance.
Yeah.
So she get to go to the dance. He said, no, I don't want her going to the dance. She get to go to the dance.
Yeah.
He taking her or you taking her. She going to the dance. So it was dating for us. He didn't want it, and I wanted it, and
Did y'all
Yeah.
compromise?
It took a minute.
Yeah.
But it came to a compromise.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that we did.
Yeah, I definitely go with my youngest daughter father. We kind of go toe to toe sometimes with regards to the disciplinary actions. He say I'm too lenient. I of course tell him he's too hard. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have a medium, so we have to then get on the phone or call and kind of like try to talk it out and. Oh, Jesus. Them calls, y'all, baby. We hang up, call you back, hang up on you, call you back. Oh, you ain't hear what I said? Well, she couldn't go. Oh, she, like you said, it was just recently, it was, what it was, I think it was Valentine's Day, yep. It was a Valentine's Day dance. No, she can't go. Wait a minute. Yeah. We all went when we was kids.
That didn't get no Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day time.
What?
So I'm like, yeah, we all went to the little Valentine's Day dances when we was in, middle school and elementary.
Yeah.
Look.
I just don't think, I think they promoting, but did you go? Did you go when you was, a child? You went, so they were promoting back then too?
You talking about yeah. Yeah, I've definitely been in a position where I was oh God, I'm not a person to I might not like the way you discipline, but I don't like to
Call you out on it?
I won't call you out on it in front of the kids. So I normally have to sit back and sit back bothered like a motherfucker until I get the dad to myself, and then we gotta have another conversation. Because it's always normally a situation where most of the times the dudes are a little bit more, at least in our definition of it is a little bit more harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much that nobody didn't agree with you. It's just how you go about it. It's that thing that mothers have, like we were just saying, with nurturers. It's like we do everything with tender. You know what I'm saying? With a little bit of care. Yeah, like it's okay to go in there and chastise your kid, but god dang, you never let the kid back on there and love them no more. God dang, you gonna leave them like that? So it'd be more or less on that, because I'm not going, unless it gotta be something real terrible for me to be like, no, you wrong. And my bad, that's just how I talk. Like you wrong, right? So more or less me telling you that you're wrong, I'll just give my little input on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because most of the time I don't, but if you done left my kid and they're feeling like they,
Piece of crap. I'm going in there.
Yeah, it's a whole problem. though. Me and you're gonna have a conversation, and then I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna love on my kid, and then I'm gonna tell them that you did it in love, even though it wasn't no, it didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we as mothers we kind of do. Like we're like that cleanup woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good term, cleanup woman.
Yeah.
We clean up them mess ups, or what we consider mess ups.
Yeah, I got a couple comments.
Okay. How she must can't see your comment.
Juju said, hey, she miss y'all.
Oh, hey.
Look at Kiki, her blowing in the wind. Akila Weeks.
Hey, Keila.
Hey, Kissy.
Hey, beautiful.
How has all the trafficking and kidnappings affected your parenting? More specifically, Kiana, because she has 2 young girls. How do you separate being the bad guy by saying no versus protecting
Let
them?
me tell you, that's so crazy because Akila, just maybe 2 days ago, my daughter she was getting dropped off to my sister's house.
Right.
This is my youngest daughter. And I had this conversation with her because she wanted to get out the car and just walk, because you have to walk around the apartment complex to go up her stairs.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can just get out and go up and I'll call you and let you know what I'm saying, that I'm in the house. And I'm like, no ma'am.
Right.
I'm finna go walk you right up to the door and make sure you're in this house, because in between the time I allow you to get out my car and you walk around that building
And
somebody could be right around there
Exactly.
and snatch you up.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm definitely like, that's me. Like I'm that mother. Like I'm paying attention. They always be like, Mama, we know, cause you watch Lifetime, but it ain't even about no Lifetime stories and stuff.
Right.
But it's real life. This is real life stuff, and I have to explain this to them constantly. Like, I'm not trying to stop you from living and stop you from having fun. It's just it's in my nature to like be concerned about these things. So
you have to be
and survive. That's what I do. That's what I mean. What do you do besides telling them? Because they do have so much education out there concerning sex trafficking now, or just trafficking in general. So of course you can have a conversation with you, but my bottom line is survive. Goddammit. You know what I'm saying? And pay attention to your surroundings,
because we
get out.
Yeah. Pay attention to our surroundings too. Snatching us up.
The one first don't get took. You better do whatever you gotta do. Don't get took. And then survival.
Speaking of that, Akila, do you remember what I told you about that? Akila was like, I think he bigger than me. He just got me. They all bite him, scratch him.
They all
but here's the thing, when we have the opportunity now, I want y'all to know that they aren't just going to approach you in a way in which you know what I'm saying, gonna be aware of
as a kidnapper.
Yeah, as a kidnapper. So you have to really be thinking, like, they hand you like cards. Pick on my business card, I do detailing. You know what I'm saying? I do detailing. Call me. Now you got this residue of this stuff on your hand. You wipe your nose. Next thing you know, you out. They done put you in the back of the van. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely just have to. You have to be. I'll be like, I don't want your card. I'm good. I'll put it in my phone. What's your number?
I mean, because at some point we all have this. I remember just going to school for corrections, to be honest, and they could prepare you mentally. They could do all the DT training or tactics training that they could possibly do for you for an upcoming conflict interest or altercation that may come.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's those first couple of seconds where you won't react.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really, you can do all you want to do, but it's really the individual. You know what I'm saying? And pray that they got that in them. I mean, because it ain't just one person out here snatching people.
No.
It's they prepared. And I'm not saying it to be in fear.
Right.
I'm telling you,
we're telling you to be aware.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just don't be walking around in the blind like,
it can't happen to you.
Like, come on.
Look,
be aware of your surroundings. Ladies, if you're going out by yourselves,
get you some fire, get you some protection, get you some mace, get you a taser.
Yes.
I don't care what with a pen, just always have something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that, man, I used to walk everywhere by myself, bro.
I did back in the day.
Everywhere. It could be 11 o'clock at night.
We really get off talking, but you did. Like, I used to be scared for you. I'm like, Tanya, you finna go home?
Yep.
Get her little bag.
I've been over here. I'm finna go.
Walk through the little
Walking up in the house at 11 o'clock.
How you got here? I woke. Yeah, we all kill us back on topic. Yeah.
I was like, we done went way left.
But no, just want everything. What we
as far as definitely, and not only that, you know what I'm saying, we women, this is a motherhood conversation. We just want, to enlighten y'all about what's really going on out here and make y'all aware that, you know what I'm saying, this thing real,
Absolutely. Do you guys think it's important to tell your kids that you love them?
All the time.
I know you tell them that you love them all the time. You think it's important
to tell them or to show
and did
them.
you have it?
Important to tell them. That's what I was saying all the time. Yeah.
I said yes, I love you.
I didn't say all the time.
I didn't say do you tell them?
I think she answered it by saying, yes, you should all the time. You should tell them all the time.
Thank you.
Okay.
She
couldn't say
what happened, but
that's what she said.
She didn't say yeah all the time. She said all the time, but I get it.
You say you love me, show me.
Yeah, but
show me.
Did you guys get that as parenting? Is that why you think it's important, or did you miss it and that's why you want to do it?
I think I missed it. I know I missed it. hearing her say, I missed it. Them jokers was rough.
Yeah.
Them jokers was rough.
My mama wasn't rough, but I don't remember her really saying that.
My mama, she would say I love you. Now she love me now. I'm a big girl. I love you too now.
Still not, but when we was small, I don't
Right. That's what I said. I think I missed that. They showed us. I mean, much as they do.
They fed me today. I guess she loved me. Got my ass tore, but she fed me.
Okay.
She whooped me because I was wrong. I mean, I guess I was wrong.
I guess you still love me though.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the I love yous?
I wasn't told that on a regular. I was told, every so often I was told I love you. So, but I think like me and you had a conversation already before how I felt like my mom showed her love to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there was a difference, but
Yeah,
definitely.
And there's different love languages, as far as like how we had that conversation about the book and 5 love languages and stuff. So there's different love languages and how you can express how you love someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be you telling them verbally.
Yeah, because I don't have to be told.
Verbally, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I would
feel like I
prefer
can tell.
You show me you love me versus you telling me, because you telling me doesn't,
it's an action word.
It doesn't.
I like both. I like to hear it.
You want to hear it?
I wanna hear
Even if he lying to you, or she lying, you just want to
That's
hear
what I
it.
was
Don't
gonna say.
You can be
lie. Don't lie. If you're showing me, you love me.
Correct.
So if you're showing me you love me, of course, you
That's
know
why I don't have to
and
hear it.
You don't have to hear it.
No, some people have to. I say,
I say I want to hear it. You're showing me you love me, and you love me, and you're doing.
But what if he's not showing you, but he's telling you?
And no. He's showing me he loved me.
I heard you, but you said you want to hear it.
And
so.
if he's showing me he loved me, he would say,
why not tell me in the process?
You just say
What
it
if
too.
he's not showing you, but he keeps telling you
So
that he
we're going to
loves
have an
you?
effective communication to let you know. I know that you're showing me. I want to hear it too.
You keep saying that. I said, what if he's not showing you?
We go back to the
No,
table and have another conversation.
She keeps saying, I know you're showing me that you love me, but I want to hear it too. I said, he's not showing you.
But she said if his actions are not following I love you, then they're gonna need to have effective communication
to get that. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're showing them that you love them, and you're learning them, you know I like that. You know if I like if you say it, you're gonna say it.
Okay, and then if it's the opposite, nigga, you don't love me.
Yeah,
I said I love you, but you ain't showing me.
I think it needs to be effective communication because we just had this conversation about the 5 love languages.
Yes.
And some people don't show their love in a certain type of way. You can have a
I think we should bring that.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Y'all want to have a podcast about the 5 love languages?
Not the whole podcast. I'm just saying, like at the beginning, just telling them like how different 5 languages, because it will like maybe spark something in somebody, and they'll be like, oh, maybe this is why, you know what I'm saying, this person does this, and no, that's how they showing me they love.
Some people don't know how to show.
Or maybe they don't know their love language. Maybe they thought that they had. Yeah, so, but we don't want to get off topic. So, give us your opinion on that.
Come back on that. We can do that. Yeah.
But no, I wasn't raised with the term I love. I get a lot of I love yous, but I felt like my mama was very nurturing. I felt like I was loved from my mom. And people who I was around, but I did realize that each one of them function different. I'll say that just from my observation as a parent reflecting onto your childhood. I did, but I tell my kids that I love them often, and not so much that I feel like I have to tell them, but we've had a conversation probably years ago, but also like in a time of just like having, because my kids are grown, so when they call me to talk about some issues or they call to get some advice or whatever, I kind of remind them of things along the way. And what I mean with that is I think telling them that you love them, I want them to remain vulnerable. Like I don't want them to be a stubborn kid or, one that is prideful or who feel, definitely more with my men, with my sons than with my daughter. And I'll say that because maybe I think it just comes naturally to the woman. I don't know. I don't feel like I felt like Clanisha was already walking in a certain way, to be honest with you. So I push more for my sons, because and it's probably based upon my experience that I've had with men. And I can't say that I done had some assholes. I came across a couple of y'all, but For the most part, I have had some loving men, but I just want to make sure that my sons are, their heart is always open. That they become vulnerable, because men they so hard and don't want to, like cut that down, like don't put that wall up, let that woman in.
And I also tell my girls, that I love them just so that they,
Can I get a refill?
So that they won't be, caught off guard by that word love and, feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like they won't have that uncomfortable feeling when it's told to them by, say, another family member or something. They will know, you know what I'm saying, that it's a genuine. Too much. But they would know that it's a sincere and family-oriented type of love that's coming off within that I love you versus feeling uncomfortable because they've never heard it being said before. You know, they'll be able to embrace it. Yeah. So that's pretty much why I tell my kids, I love them, because I don't want them to never get caught off guard. And even with the with them being told, me telling them, they're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because in a lot of cases, when you don't hear something as such and somebody says it to you on the outside, it does catch you off guard, and you would think somebody may be trying to be funny because you've never heard that. You know what I'm saying, before. So I also make sure that I always tell my girls that, they're beautiful. So it's never like something that they've missed out on hearing or missed out on getting from me, so that when they do hear it, or if they do hear it outside, they don't know how to embrace it.
Yeah, I think it's very important too, Kiana, because, and what I do have to, based upon my experience, women do pay attention to those details too, like the small details. Making sure that your daughter is confident and does feel beautiful in her own skin, in the body that, you know what I'm saying, or in whatever it is that the Lord has given them, whether they think different or whether they look different. I think that we pay attention to all of the small details. So those are some of the things I was saying, like, what are the things that a woman can bring to the table? It's like, we pay attention to everything.
Yeah, we very detail oriented.
You talk about what your man said.
What you may say?
With all of the stuff that we do, is there, do you feel like there's some things that maybe the women should not touch, like relinquishing some things to leave that to the man? Yeah.
So we had people be wanting to know what the topic is going to be about, and so telling someone that what the topic was, they brought up that aspect. I don't know if you guys were able to hear Keisha about. Are there certain boundaries, or are there certain things that a woman should not touch, when it comes to delegating or relinquishing to the man or to the father? Do you think that there are certain things?
Responsibilities within the household, or just anything?
Do you think that there are certain things that a woman shouldn't touch? That's for the man. Let him handle that. And if so, what?
Like some women will just leave the discipline to the man. They might not. Wait till your daddy come home. A lot of people do that. Your daddy gonna beat your ass, and she might be disciplined.
It's nothing that I would leave per se altogether to the man, but I do know that I feel like if it has gotten to a point where, when discipline has gotten to a point where it's out of control, like what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and it's like I done felt like I done lost control of it, then, I'll delegate that, but I wouldn't just altogether just be like, okay,
there's nothing just from the jump. Daddy got it.
It's nothing that I would just give,
Natasha. Ellie did the discipline.
He did?
He did the discipline.
Yeah.
He did the discipline. We did it together, but he primarily was the disciplinary.
I do. I think because fathering is a very important role. So when it comes to certain things like teaching them how to do yard work, or teaching them certain things when it comes to things that I think a man just does naturally, or it's certain things that
that never comes to my mind, but that's really good. Fixing the car and stuff like that. Absolutely. So those things are definitely will be delegated, given to the man.
Okay, we have some comments.
So going back to the 5 love languages, Akila said y'all should do the whole show on that. Don't just take a portion of it.
Okay.
And she said the man usually handles, like the trash. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jakebia Franklin.
Hey.
She said, is talking about your childhood versus your kid's childhood something you speak about? Example, broken relationships or situations that you might have went through that you want to prevent them from going through. I done been there, done that. You need to listen to me.
Absolutely. I definitely would make an open forum for that conversation, especially if they're in their older ages. You know what I'm saying? So, because I think younger, they really wouldn't understand. You know what I'm saying? That's not a conversation to be had with a 7-year-old. I'm saying,
you know when to have.
yeah, you know, yeah, definitely. But absolutely. And I was even going to mention, I think that as mothers, have you ever, just really sat your kids down and introduced the topic sex to them? Like,
yes.
Went into conversation, like, in depth with your kids about sex?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times I think what we do is we allow the school and what they see and hear from friends teach your kids as far as sex. I wish I would have had, someone to tell me the ins and outs and the details and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I learned everything along the way. But if you really like have that conversation, you would see initially it would become uncomfortable. Like when you sit down, because I was very uncomfortable. Me being the parent, having the conversation and them being the listeners, you could see in their facial expressions and everything.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear. But as you continue, down the path of having discussions, it kind of loosens the conversation up, But it brings and it sheds a lot of light. It's stuff that, the teachers, when they doing sex ed or whatever they have in school, it's stuff that they're not teaching you, we can give to them, you know what I'm saying? So have you as a mother, had that conversation? Time to go?
Yeah, we got 10 minutes.
We got to go. We got.
Yes, I had a whole conversation. We did a whole bought books, sat down, read them together, talked about it.
I ain't thinking about books.
And you did because I got it from the Huxtables.
Wow.
With Claire Huxtable did with the girls when they had their cycle.
Yeah.
That you made it a whole day. And you talked, you talked about it because it was coming.
Yeah.
But then on that day, you have a day, we did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
A book,
No, I haven't sat down and had a sex that sex talk, like the sex education class with my kids.
No, I did that with Samara, I didn't do that with the boys.
Yeah.
Ellen did the boys.
Yeah, but no, I didn't. I kind of took it on as it went, to be honest with you. But as they,
Yeah.
You should got one that's about that time.
It's that time, because I done had that time. I done had that Cosby show.
Cosby Show, the episode when Rudy ain't had no titties yet. My mama said you get what you get when you get it, and some of us haven't got them yet.
Right.
I never forget that.
I love that show. I love Bill Cosby in that show, and I put a comment on. I'm sorry, it's off track.
It's fine.
I wanted to go to Spelman.
Really?
I didn't know what I was going to do when I got there.
But you
did
did
too.
going.
I was going to Spelman
I
College.
think that's probably the college that I had in my mind.
Really?
But as far as to my answer, because I know we're coming close to having to wrap up. No, I didn't. I kind of, like as I said, I addressed it as it went. But along the way, as parenting, I used to teach my daughter like things as far as how a woman should handle herself. And, yeah. Not so much on the hygiene, but not being promiscuous in certain things that we do and how you carry yourself and all those things. I used to have conversations with her like that, and I used to have different conversations with my sons. Like, I was always big on, because my husband and Quanisha and dad is two totally different dudes. They live two totally different lives, and my kids were privy to both of them. And, I just wanted my sons to make sure that they didn't do multiple girlfriends, so I used to harp on that.
Wow.
And, yeah, so I didn't necessarily have the sex conversation like educational wise, but I did explain. I had a conversation with the sons about condoms and all of that, stuff, and making sure that they always keep them in their wild and all that good stuff. And did they take it? I did. I think in the beginning they did.
I thought that was funny.
But I really think that it's important that.
I'm sorry. I thought it was funny how you said you taught your boys not to be promiscuous, not have that many girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right. And I was telling Darius he should have a lot of girlfriends.
Get it out your system.
Get it out your system.
Before you get married.
Don't be so serious. It's too serious. You're too young. Live your life.
Right.
Oh,
And I used to tell my mom, you should have not just one card. You should have 6 cards.
No, I told them, and if you ready to
cards, you know, like you get 1 card from one guy, get 1 table.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know what
you have 6 of them.
Yeah. No, I never promoted that because I felt like, just like I tell my daughter, like, why you ain't got, I probably don't follow this advice, but I gave it, and so I don't need to hear that private conversation. So, like, because based upon those conversations, they call, they want the advice or whatever. Like, why are you still in that relationship, girl? Move on. Like, you 18 years old, you're 20 years old. Like, you got a whole life to live. Like, move on. You not know how many options you got out here. Like, keep them open. And if you want to date, because I feel like you can date. I don't think that you should have sex with all of them.
Right.
I think they might be a little bit more open to, like this generation might be a little bit more open to that. But I definitely wouldn't advise you to do that. I still think your pocketbook is special. But, so don't be going around and getting to everybody.
Right.
So I feel like don't waste your time. Move on. Don't be so serious, or don't try to force something to work. You're too young for that. And I say that because I got married really young, and I say that with my sons too. Like when you feel like if you want to be with somebody else, bro, you're not married. Like I'm hard on it. Y'all are not married. Move on. So I'm big on that. Don't get 1,000. Do one at a time. If you want to do one a week, I don't even know how often you do it. Do them at a time. That ain't one of them ain't. Well, I ain't gonna say they business.
So we're ready now. Final thoughts time.
Say hello and goodbye to Terica.
Hello,
Hey,
Terica. It's
We about to wrap it up, girl.
Wrap it up.
Wrap.
Pull in the plug, girl.
All right, so we'll get some final thoughts. You said you wanted me to start, Natasha. Okay. Motherhood in a nutshell. I don't know, because we're a very vital part when it comes to parenting. I love mothering, man. It's a joy. It's a hassle too, but it's definitely a joy. So I think that you should embrace the experience. Don't think everything is just gonna be straight and narrow. Just be open-minded and do everything that you do. Love that.
Yeah, just piggybacking
Give
off
your
of
kids
her.
a voice.
Tanya. Piggybacking off of her, I definitely love being a mother. Being able to take care of 2 individuals has been a blessing to me. But there is no instruction book, manual, whatever you want to call it, about being a mother. You take the good with the bad, and you just keep pressing forward. Every day you learn it. Every day you learn it, and once you become a mother, you never stop.
Yeah.
You never stop. You never give up. So,
don't be too hard on yourself when things don't go the way that you
Absolutely.
expect them before we get to Taj. Because I ran into that. So don't be so harsh on yourself, because it's just certain things you see that you just had no control of it. But that's what I said before I got there. I still wanted to give that in.
Until my final thought.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Taj. My bad.
she had something.
Go ahead. If you're going to say that, I'll let you finish.
I was gonna say again. I love being a mom.
Yeah.
I love being a mom. I love everything about it. I love to be patient.
Tasha,
I love
watched you
teaching.
be a
I
mother.
be
I think she
nurturing.
really enjoyed it.
I love that.
Seriously.
I love that. And
She
everything
did.
that.
Then she
Thank
can
you.
you
See
feel
how
me?
it looks?
Tasha used to come, look, I gotta tell you, Tasha used to have her kids, she used to come over there with their little snacks in the little bit.
And when she being a good mother was her ass being cheap. And they all in the
And
little
they
I
individual.
had all that stuff because they
The little
had.
Tupperware containers, like Tasha came prepared. Like I'm real on some real junk, Tasha. I had not seen your mothers do that. Now we feed our kids, in the room. But Tasha was prepared.
Yeah.
I don't know whether because she was a daycare, you had your own day. I don't know, but whatever it was,
That
I loved
was
it.
in me
You
to
did.
give
You
it to
enjoyed
the
it.
daycare because I
Yeah.
enjoyed being a mother.
But
But every mother is different. Because that worked for me, that may not work for you.
Yeah,
It's hard, it's challenging, it's not easy. And the rules don't stay the same. They change. And each child is different.
Yep.
Yes.
So you have to flow in that.
Yep.
And
you gotta adjust accordingly. Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Embrace that kid.
Embrace
Love that kid.
Love
the way
that kid.
loved it.
He may not be like this one, and this one take more, this one don't take that much.
Nobody has
And
a
don't
favorite.
make that
Nobody
child
has a
feel
book. We don't
bad
have the
about
law.
the fact that they're
That's
not
right.
like that the particular child that you always are, praising or looking up to. Don't look down on that child and make that child feel bad and be like, oh, you should be like, why you ain't like it. You know what I'm saying? Allow that child to be who that child is and love that child where that child is at.
Yeah. Well, I take the fact, because I think because the kids are so different, we all kind of look at it like we're favoring one kid more than the other. But being that they're all different, you know what I'm saying, you have to, some kids require a little bit more in this area and vice versa. So don't let nobody make you feel like you got a favorite. You know what I'm saying?
If it's working for you in your house,
exactly.
keep it on.
Keep it moving.
Everybody got an opinion about something.
Yeah.
See,
that.
like,
Mothers keep mothering.
Everybody got
That's our advice to you. Keep mothering. Keep your foot to the plow. Do not give up. Reach out to another mother. Whatever you got to do to make sure that you guys keep this thing moving.
That's right.
And until next, follow us.
Follow us,
Follow us on Instagram at Spoken with Purpose 3. You can also follow us on both of our Facebook pages, which is one Spoken W Purpose. The other one is Spoken with Purpose. And then we also have a YouTube channel, Spoken with Purpose Podcast. We need to start updating that. You will see more of that. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and you share, comment, all of that. Like our stuff.
The link is down below.
What else we got? Oh, the podcast. Make sure you listen to it on all of the streaming services. We got Apple Podcasts. We got Anchor, all of them.
Podcasts, all that.
Yeah. Check us out, y'all.
Y'all already know. We air well.
We out.